The track of this storm. We're joined by meteorologist John Nodar. Good morning, John.
Well, good morning, and I got to tell you, this storm is turning out to be a monster. We're looking at a Category 4 hurricane bearing down on the northern Gulf Coast. Let's jump in here and show you what's going on. A extremely well-organized storm. You see the very distinct eye in the middle, the symmetrical pattern around that, the bands feeding into the center. It has all the textbook hallmarks of a powerful hurricane that is bearing down on, right now, it looks like Panama City, but its effects will be felt throughout the News 5 area as well. Michael, 145-mile-an-hour winds, motion now north-northeast at 13 miles per hour. A lot of folks have been asking about when that turn takes place. It actually started earlier this morning, but now it's going to accelerate to the northeast eventually and move into this area of Florida around the Emerald Coast. Pressure dropping again to 931 millibars. It means it could conceivably strengthen further, although it's running out of time to do so. Meantime, this is the forecast model. And it's one of several, but they are all in pretty good agreement now. 1 o'clock this afternoon, landfall. It's a big storm. So even though Panama City, Apalachicola, Big Bend area of Florida get the worst of this storm, its effects will be felt further to the west into the News 5 area. Okaloosa County, Santa Rosa County, almost certain that you'll experience at least some hurricane force winds. And then as we get further to the west, this model shows everything dropping off quickly. There could still be some bands of heavy rain and tropical storm force winds. It moves away quickly. The one good thing about this system is that once it does make it on land, it weakens and moves to the northeast and out of our hair pretty quickly. By 10 p.m. tonight, we should be just about done with this storm. All right, so here is the current radar image, and again, you see just how well structured this storm is with the bands coming in. These bright orange bands are the areas that are likely to see very heavy rain, and that's where you find the tropical storm force winds, and as you get closer to the center, the hurricane force winds associated with Hurricane Michael. Tropical winds right now, not terribly impressive. It's still far enough away that we're seeing maybe 20, 30 mile an hour regular winds. Let me go to the wind gusts and show you that already in Fairhope and really in Mobile too, we've seen winds over 20 miles per hour. Gulf Shores 26, Pensacola 29, 30 at Hurlburt Field, 31 in Destin. We did have a 40-mile-an-hour wind gust in Destin just a little while ago above tropical storm strength. So it's early yet. When things start to go downhill, they're going to go downhill very quickly. Here are the hurricane force winds outlined in red, the tropical storm force winds in yellow. They extend 175 miles from the center. The hurricane force winds a little closer at 45 miles from the center. So they are likely to stay around the Emerald Coast, but there will be some bands with hurricane force winds that could make it into our neighborhood. Tropical storm force winds you see extend well into southwest Alabama and then quickly diminish during the evening hours. This is 10 o'clock tonight, and by then we should be done with those winds. So as we are tracking, Michael, tropical storm winds for a lot of people and hurricane winds for some, especially in the Florida Panhandle. Heavy rain in bands throughout the course of the day and into the late afternoon. Coastal flooding will be a possibility, and the weather gets worse the farther east you go.